Ever since we saw a dog pull the man out of the snow, the world has been raving about James Gunn's Superman movie trailer. And now James Gunn reveals the max length of Superman's runtime. So people, we got into a day and age where people don't want movies to be too short, but they don't want these long epic endeavors like a Lord of the Rings extended cut. And to a certain extent, I can get that. But I, for one, like a nice long movie, provided the movie is good. If you have a long movie that's good, you won't even notice the time go by. But apparently Gen Z and Gen Alpha can't sit in their chairs for any more than 5 seconds before they are bored and want to move on to something else, which just shows the quick and short attention span that we as human beings have developed over the years due to the internet and technology. It is what it is, says the Macho Man, and what it is what it will be. And what it will be is this article from CBR. By the way, I'm LP, writer and creator of the comic books Nyobe and Savage Sin, hanging out here with you today to go over what the possible runtime is for Superman. Long movie, short movie, what are we in for? Let's find out. Superman writer, director, and DC Studios co-head James Gunn recently touched upon the runtime for the Man of Steel's new cinematic outing. Before this, Gunn professed that making Superman made himself miserable. Well, usually the best movies, the longer movies, the movies that really require a lot out of you as a director, as a writer, whatever your role is in it, you are going to feel miserable until it's done. But that's the payoff, right? The payoff comes for all this hard work, all your blood, sweat, and tears. When the movie's a big hit at the box office, that misery will quickly go away. Gunn brought up the subject over on Threads, avowing to an inquiring fan, "It's not finished yet, so I don't know." Under 2.5 hours, he putting the spotlight on Superman himself, Gunn shut down a major Superman fan concern, conveying that the movie dedicates zero time to setting up characters for the future. Going on to further note, maybe 2 little things, 2 moments, but it's basically something's there just to set something else. Fuck it, I'll even say that, quote unquote, from James Gunn. James Gunn throwing down the F-bombs there. He continued, "And for all I know, these things can be cut by the time we get to the editing room because something has to exist for this movie. And if that works in tandem with setting up characters that exist in other media, then that's great. If it sets up the Peacemaker season 2, which it does, then that's great. But that is never, ever, ever with me going to be something that I'm going to sacrifice even a moment or a beat in a story for, especially a movie." Well, that's good to hear. Because we want the movie to be centered on the Man of Steel. We want a Superman story. We don't want, everyone's, set up origin story for their next movies. Give us one of the things that DC did well when it came with Batman before Ben Affleck's Batman was that the Batman stories were basically standalone. You didn't need to watch Wonder Woman to jump into Christopher Nolan's Batman and get into it. You know what I mean? It just, you didn't need to do it, or vice versa, to be honest with you. Tying this into this, Gunn delved into why other DC heroes are in the project in 2023, professing at the time they fit the story I'm telling, and the story always comes first. Gunn asserted that Superman isn't being used to set up future DC Universe films. "I've never used one movie to set up another movie. The characters are there because they help to tell Superman's story better, not so we can set up separate projects in the franchise. Superman and Lois are in the very clear as protagonists." Look, it wouldn't matter if you did or didn't, because if something's a hit, whether you intended for it to be or not, like let's say, you throw a hot girl in there and all of a sudden she's like steals the show. She's the blowout performance of the movie. Do you not think that the DC gods are going to sit there up in the heavens and say, you know what? We don't need a hot girl movie, even though she stole the show. We don't need a Crypto the Dog cartoon or TV show. He sucked. That's not going to happen. Of course, these are setups. Whether he intended to or not, they are setups. Most recently, Gunn insisted that David Corenswet's Superman performance will blow people the F away. Why do these professionals always got to keep on swearing? It's one thing for me to swear, but it's a whole other thing for these professionals who we're supposed to look up to and idolize, just curse and swear in professional interviews. I just don't understand it. He is the movie star that everyone just dreams he could possibly be. Well, that remains to be seen. And I don't think anyone really understands the depth of this guy's talent dramatically on a comedic level. He is the best physical actress I've probably ever worked with. He's an amazing actor, and Lois Lane actor Rachel Brosnahan, hopefully I said that right. People are going to die for her as well. Well, I hope they don't literally die for her, but I can see, there are some simps in the world that probably would. Prior to this, Gunn touched upon how Christopher Reeve's Last Son of Krypton influenced his own, asking how does one take this outrageous concept of a guy who flies around and turns himself into something real? Well, you don't. I mean, it's fantasy. The whole thing is, Christopher Reeve's Superman came out. The tagline was, "You will believe that a man can fly." And we did. As kids, I can't tell you how many times I would run and jump and fly through the air and crash land on the couch with a red towel around my neck, thinking I was Superman. Thank God I didn't jump off a building doing that. But I mean, it's fantasy. That's what we want out of fantasy. Something that is not real. Something that can take us away for a bit and then bring us back in later. Besides those bits of news, Gunn promised that Superman won't be a comedy, declaring that it's easier for one to take a character no one knows, like Guardians of the Galaxy or Peacemaker, and then do whatever they want with them. However, everyone knows the story of Superman. Gunn also promised that Superman won't feel like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Superman arrives in theaters faster than a speeding bullet on July 11th, 2025. Well, that's not faster than a speeding bullet. We want, in today's society, we want things now, God damn it. Or not even now. We wanted them yesterday. We've gotten spoiled with this stuff, right? July, that's what, 6, 7, maybe 8 months away? That sounds like an eternity from now. I never understood why releasing a trailer 8 months in advance was always a good idea. I would say maybe 3 or 2 months in advance, because by the time you get to the movie, there's going to be, 5 or 6 trailers out. People have already broken down the movie through leaks, through scripts, through inside knowledge. It pretty much gets ruined by the time it even comes out. So I would say less is more when it comes to promoting Superman. Tease it, but don't give it away. Make sure shit isn't getting leaked out. Make sure that if you do have any other surprises or cameos in the movie, that you do not reveal them until the movie. Okay. Do not give too much away, is all this is coming down to. I hope it's a decently long movie, but as long as it's good, do not give me a Zack Snyder snorefest. For the love of God, I don't want to sit through 3 hours of fucking slow motion and very lame and slow music for what's supposed to be a fast-paced, I should say, action hero movie, superhero movie, okay? It's not Lord of the Rings. It's fucking Superman here, all right? Get it right. Get it done. Make it good. Make some money. Make some more movies. And let's move on into 2025. And also, let's move on with a word from our sponsor, me. And just who is the sponsor of today's video? Well, it's me, Austin. It's been me all along. And guys, I just want to quickly point out that I too am a comic book creator. I just don't speak it. I produce it, right? It's like put your money where your mouth is. We do that each and every time we have a release. I've been doing this now for a decade. We're published. We're in comic book shops. And we're on eBay. So if you ever want to check out Nyobi and you haven't yet, one of the best ways to do that is to come by our eBay store. Take a little scroll through here. If you type in Nyobicomics, you'll find it. Of course, link will be in the description of the video. I have all kinds of great back issues and hard to find variants here from artists that you know and love, like Jamie Tyndall, Elsie Frita, Steph Wilson, Paul Green, John Stinsman of Evangeline fame, Keith Garvey, and so many more, guys. If you're missing out on some Nyobi back issues, if you're looking for that hard to find variant, chances are you're going to find the best deal right here on eBay, and chances are you're going to find that deal directly through me. And as always, if you do order a book from me, I'll throw in a little extra goodies in there, a little tchotchke package of stickers and bookmarks and cards. Oh my. You'll have all that. Plus, you can have your book signed or unsigned. That is up to you. And keep an eye on this page because I do update it fairly frequently with new items all the time. As something sells, I will put it back up. So guys, today's sponsor, Nyobicomics, the eBay store. Come check it out.